Hi, so this is the Olympus Trip 35. This is a zone focus camera, and this is, even though this is an analog camera, I would say it's not a really hard zone focus camera or analog camera to start with, like if you're a beginner. But of course, if you're a total beginner, maybe you'll need to get used to it, adapt to it. But if you have used point and shoot before, I would say this is not a very difficult one to start with. Or even if you're an advanced film enthusiast, it will also be a really good companion for you lah, because even though it's very simple, very straightforward, the outcome is very sharp lah, in my opinion, for the price range. And this is the overall condition. Okay, you can see the lens is very clear. Okay, and this is the overall condition. There's not much scratches and stuff to it. Okay, to open the back, just open it like that, like seal is renewed. Here's the back element. To insert the film, you can just get yourself a roll of film, and then you see that there is slit right here. So make sure when you insert, you have to insert it to the slit itself. So this thing, push it up, then make sure you insert to the slit itself, and then you can advance. Okay, so close the back and advance. Now we are shooting under a light box situation, so there is very sufficient light. So this is where I can start shooting. So make sure you put it to auto if you are not using any external flash. Okay, if this is your first roll, I wouldn't recommend you to straight away start with an external flash. I think you can just shoot it as a lone camera itself and see whether you need a flash or not. So to advance it, just advance until you cannot push anymore, and then you can shoot, press the shutter. So just advance until you cannot push anymore, and you see that this thing is moving. That means you're successfully loaded the film. And you see that the film counter will also move. See? Okay. And the next thing here is you do not have to adjust this. This is the aperture setting if you're using a flash. So if you're using the camera as a lone camera, just put it as advanced. Just put it as an auto setting. Okay? So the exposure will be automated. And because now we are shooting under a light box situation, so the light is sufficient and it will allow you to shoot. But let's mimic insufficient light situation by turning off the light box. Okay. Now that I've turned off the light box, you can see that I won't be able to press the shutter, and the viewfinder will pop up a red flag indicating that this light situation is insufficient for me to shoot. So this is also meaning that the light meter itself is very accurate. But let's say if you go back to normal light situation, let's say daylight, it will allow me to shoot. Alright, so just simple as that. The next thing you need to remember is that the zone focus. So for normal shooting mode, zone focus, you just put it as 3 meter, the red one. So this is the most standard if you don't want to keep adjusting. But let's say if you want your focus to be more accurate, let's say for portrait 0.8 to 1 meter, you can adjust to this. So this is like half person portrait, and this is like 2-person portrait. So this is like 2 meter, 2 to 3, and this is 3, and this is for infinity lah, means you want to include everything in your focus. Okay, so just like that. And you can also adjust it. Remember to adjust the ISO before you shoot. So by turning this silver ring here, this is where you can adjust the ISO. Just follow your film. So if, for example, you're using a gold 200, just adjust to 200. If you're using ultramax 400, just adjust it to 400. Okay, just simple as that. Okay. Yep, that's 400. So just like that, just after you finish shooting, when you want to rewind it, just push this thing right here, and following the arrow of the knob, you feel a bit resistant, it's normal. So you just rewind until you don't feel any more resistance, and then you can open the back of the camera. Alright, just like that, very simple to use, very sturdy, and meant for long-term analog camera lah. This one comes in a 6 months warranty. And I have personally shot on this camera, so I think it's a pretty worth one. Thank you.